So I just want to get your feelings. You've been a blues broadcaster for a long darn time. The fact that they're here, what does it mean to you?
It means so much, Mike, for everybody, obviously with the team, associated with the team. But for the fans, I'm so happy that their team is now in the final and they get a chance to win. And they have a good chance to win. And hopefully they will win a Stanley Cup because, my God, they've been waiting so long and they've been so patient and so loyal. So it's almost surreal, though, in a way that we are here, the day of Game 1, and now the Blues are in the Stanley Cup Final against the Boston Bruins. The last time they were in the final, of course, was against this team in this city.
Tell me about your earliest memories of going to the game with your dad.
Well, I first moved here in the fall of '68. My first game at the arena, the Blues were playing the New York Rangers, and they were down by a goal. They pulled the goalie, and Red Berenson scored on a rebound to tie the game. And the arena went crazy, and I was 9 years old, and I said, wow, this is amazing. But, Mike, I remember the first year my dad was with the Blues. They went to the final, of course. Montreal won the Cup in St. Louis. I remember the Stanley Cup being paraded around the ice at the old arena. And then the next year, of course, they lost to Boston. And the biggest memory I have from that series, of course, aside from the Bobby Orr goal, was Game 1 when Jacques Plante got hit in the head and had to leave. Yeah. So those are the big memories I have from early on in my first couple of years around.
And would you sit in a booth and watch your dad broadcast the game? Did you two have conversations over the years about broadcasting?
As a kid, I sat in the seats with my mom. But then as I got to be 14, 15, I decided, well, my dad's got a pretty good job. I wouldn't mind following in his footsteps. And then I would sit with him, and I did stats for him. I did stats for the coaches one year, and I also spotted for my dad on football. He did a lot of Mizzou stuff and Big Red, and he was a great football announcer. Yeah. I think people forget that he was such a great football announcer as well.
He was just a great broadcaster.
He was a great broadcaster. So, yeah, we would talk about broadcasting a lot, and he would listen to tapes, and just like any young announcer, he would help me a lot, and he tried to look for the positives, and yeah, he was obviously a great father and a great mentor.
Yeah. You got word not too long ago that you would be calling the middle periods of a Stanley Cup Final. First of all, I know at first you said, I don't want to do it. Tell me how that conversation went down.
Well, it happened after the Blues won Game 6, and we were in a room with all the employees, and they had the trophy in there, and we took pictures. My wife was there and my kids, and Chris came up to me and said, I want you to do the second period of every game in the final. And I said, no, it's your job. It's not my place. And he said, it's not an option, John. You're going to do it. And I was blown away, and my family was. I called my mother the next day, and she was over the moon as well. So it's an unbelievable gesture for Chris to do that. I mean, it's his job, it's his booth, and this is a big spotlight moment for Chris and the Blues, and for him to give up part of that is just so amazing, and I can't put it into words.
So when you don the mic and the second period starts, what do you think what will be going through your mind? Will you be thinking about your dad? Will you be thinking about the broadcast? What will you be thinking about?
I think it's going to be about the broadcast, Mike, and I think about my dad a lot, obviously. As a matter of fact, in Game 6 or 7 against Dallas, I was looking up at his banner a lot, say, hey, Dad, we need some help here. We need some help. And then Maroon scored, and they won the game. So, no, it's business tonight, and I've got to do the best job I can to call the game. And it's not really a whole lot different than what I've been doing for 30 years. It's just now it's on radio, and it's a little bigger spotlight tonight.
Yeah. And what do you think it would mean to St. Louis if the Blues finally do this?
I just can't put it into words. It would mean so much for the fans because they've been so loyal. There have been so many great moments, but there have been some down times and tough times for this franchise. But some great players. The best of the best have played for the St. Louis Blues. Gretzky, Brett Hull, Pronger. The names go on and on. Back to the early years, Jacques Plante and Glenn Hall. So, the people that I would feel the best for are the fans because they really deserve a Stanley Cup.
How old were you in 1970?
I was 9, yeah.
What do you remember about 1970? Anything?
I was probably just trying to get through math class in in Fern Ridge Elementary School in Creve Coeur. You know, we came to St. Louis, and I had never been out of the country of Canada. We all came from Ottawa, and so imagine a family of at the time 7. We had 5 kids at the time. You know, coming to a strange country, a strange city, and all of a sudden, your dad's a famous hockey announcer, and it's great memories from back then, obviously.
Yeah.